everyone. Welcome to the show. You're listening to the Skeleton Key Podcast. I'm your host, Kagan. With me, as always, is...
Keegan.
And joined by us yet again, for some fucking reason, is my brother, Tate. What's up, Tate?
What's going on?
Yeah, just munching on Rice Krispie treats over there. How was everyone's Memorial Day weekend? Hope all of our listeners had a good and enjoyable, safe one.
It was good. It was fun. I know you had a good time. Partially.
Yeah, partially. A good friend of mine, Devontae Harper, you might remember him from the second episode of our fucking show. You were not on there for that one. He was on there. He passed away Sunday night. He was a fucking great guy. It's been really tough. I wish I'd known him longer than I got. I knew him for like a little over a year, but it really is upsetting to hear Monday morning. He was a great guy. He was the life of the party. He was a local DJ. He was really good, actually. His laughter was contagious as fuck. He was always dancing. He always went out of his way to congratulate you and shit. Like, he'd message me out of nowhere on Snapchat and ask me how the show was going. And then he wanted to be a guest on it again. And of course, can't do it anymore, but I was all for it. But same with Jax. Who's on the show. Jackson, I love you, man, wherever you're doing. I know you're going through hell right now. Tell Billy and Ellie out there, same with them. Abby, your sister here in Indiana, and Alex and Steph. I love all you guys. So Devontae, this episode's to you. I know you're sitting here listening, so I hope I don't fuck this up.
That'll be a first.
Real fucking... Actually, no, that was a positive. That was a compliment, wasn't it? It'd be first I fucked it up. I think you meant to say the opposite.
Take it however you want. It'll be a first if you don't fuck it up.
There we go. That's what I was expecting. But no, Devontae, this one's to you, brother. I'll see you again one day. But no, guys. So, due to hecticness of the fucking week, I kind of scrounged this one together. It is a good one though, and I think you'll like it. So this week we are talking failed exorcism: the murder of Joan Vollmer.
Hey, you didn't just like this.
I told you, man, it was one of our earlier ones. Involves an exorcism. Yeah. This one's not like the Michael Taylor one. This one is murder. This is murder. It's very clearly murder. Done onto this. I'll do an overview real quick. So the exorcism, that's what I'm going to call this, of Joan Vollmer is a failed religious endeavor in which a 49-year-old woman, the aforementioned Joan, was killed by her husband and a ragtag group of religious devil fighters after 4 days of beatings and psychological torment. So this isn't normal exorcism by any means.
Like, they just tortured your ass?
We're going to get into it in the end. They legit thought that she was possessed, even though, how do I put this? The town they're from only had 49 people in it. It was really backwoods Australia. So my take is, they didn't know enough about actual health and science to know that she had something wrong with her because they couldn't understand it. Yeah. But they understood religion enough to be like, oh, she's possessed. Look at a picture of, right now, one of you, look at a picture of Ralph Vollmer. It's Vollmer. No offense to Ralph. He doesn't look like he's the smartest man on the earth.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Kevin.
Did you look at him?
No, not yet. I'm going. It seems like nothing ever good comes out of Australia.
The creepy Australian country house abandoned after...
Yeah, no, I mean fucking Malott.
Yeah. What the hell is Joan Vollmer?
Joan Vollmer.
All the fucking critters and shit.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Everything there can kill you.
Yeah, everything there can... Dude, you have fucking 6-foot marsupials that will kick you. Yeah. I'm not trying to judge a book by its cover, but I'm just... Ralph...
Looks like he's fucking incest.
He was a pig farmer from Australia, guys. I don't know how else to say it. But, so, Joan Vollmer's death is made even more maddening by the fact that no one faced any real repercussions for their actions, with the bulk of the group only facing a few months in prison, while Joanne's husband, Ralph, faced no charges for his involvement in his own wife's death. Which picture are you showing him? I'm just being honest, man.
Gosh.
I just don't... Like I said,
that looks like someone wrong turn.
It does. It looks like the fucking. What was the one like with the Marine? Remember the Marine? Like where the Marine, like he has the bow.
Are they out in the woods?
Yeah. They're like on the game show. Yeah. Remember that guy like that lives in the woods in the cabin? He blew up dynamite. That literally reminded me of Ralph.
Yes, it does.
No, but it's in backwoods Australia. It's too early. We're too late in humanity. This is in 1993. But it's backwoods Australia. They don't really know, they're not that, they're not that smart. I'm just being honest. From what I can understand, because just let me read the story here in a second, and you're going to see what I mean by like they did their own DIY approach to an exorcism. And with that, let's begin. I'm not going to work. I know how you are like religious, agnostic. I'm not going to get into it like at all during this, but you're going to see that these people.
I feel like what's his name off of the Impulsive podcast, George. You ever watch the Impulsive podcast?
Yeah, I only watched the one with what's the one I just asked
Liver
you?
King.
Yeah, Liver King.
Yeah, George is like really like a big Christian, and they always like say shit, and it pisses George off all the time.
These people's heart was in the right place, but they didn't think anything through. So let's begin. So our story this week takes us to the outback in 1993 to a backwoods Australian town named Antwerp, at the Vollmer residence, where we find a middle-aged husband and wife named, again, Ralph and Joan Vollmer, but there's a problem. Something's wrong with Joan. The Australian pig farmer would later tell his local preacher and eventually the court that Joan would dance around outside for hours, flailing her arms aimlessly and swinging them about, and she would yell and rant curse words at the barn as if addressing someone that wasn't even there. I'm going to be honest, I found out that the last podcast did an episode on this, and I listened to it, and I agree with Mr. Parks. His thought was a brain tumor. She's middle-aged, she's getting up there, not old, she's not old, but she's up there enough to where that could happen. I imagine a tumor might have probably been pushing against her fucking brain.
Probably, yeah.
I'm just being honest. That's what I thought it was, because this stuff does not sound like...
Out of nowhere.
So is that like the house? Like that's their pig farm and everything?
Yep. Yeah, no, this... So, my guess... So, from that description, that's not what an actual possession is. That's not what that is. That people who have claimed to have actually been possessed, and like the more credible ones, that's not how they act. It's just not.
So the last podcast did an episode on it?
Yeah, they did it was like 3 stories of like murderous possession, and this was one of them actually.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. This one was one of my favorite ones, so I had to fucking try it.
Watch what they...
I mean, realistic here. He just didn't know enough about health and science and shit. I'm being honest. I don't think he knew enough so he didn't understand what's happening to her. But like I said in the beginning, he knew enough in his own head about religion to think he knew that's what that was. He's using Occam's razor. It's a simpler of 2 choices for him. So, again, so Ralph would also tell the Reverend, this part's weird, that Joan developed the appearance of a bulldog, but would act like a pig, and had acquired the personality of a sheep shearer, and also began to act, in Ralph's words, like a prostitute.
You just described like 900
people.
Yeah,
what is even the personality of a sheep shearer?
Yeah, what?
He said she looked like she began to look like a pig, she began to look like a bulldog but act like a pig, had the personality of a sheep shearer, and acted like a prostitute.
The first 2 things that you said, I think you were talking about Vinny for a second.
The first 2 things make more sense than the last 2, because at least like when it comes to like demons and shit, animal like appearances can be a thing. But the sheep shearer thing, that's how.
Why a fucking sheep shearer?
Yeah, why a sheep shearer? That's what I'm saying. I don't think he knows any better. He's a pig farmer in a town of 49.
Let's say, what's the sheep shearer? I don't even know what a sheep shearer personality.
I mean, is a sheep shearer a dick? Are they nice? No, it's a demon. So apparently he's saying sheep shearers are assholes.
Oh, I'm so confused on what a sheep shearer, what he means by this.
I don't know what he means by a sheep shearer, dude. I read that and I was like...
Wonder if any Australians will get this.
Yeah, hey, if any Australian listeners know what a sheep shearer acts like, let us know. What'd you say, Tate?
We can ask Jordan. He's in Melbourne right now.
Please ask Jordan if he like has been a sheep shearer yet. So yeah, but I don't know what he means by that. It's just like I said, he doesn't know enough. So Ralph came to the conclusion that there was no other explanation for his wife's sudden personality changes other than demonic possession. But before he called in the church, he decided to try his own methods of getting rid of the demons. So not having any prior religious training or even any fucking holy water available.
This is about to go south.
Yeah. Ralph decided to lock Joan in the basement for a while, just to see what happened. But all this did was cause Joan to scream at the top of her lungs, like Herbert Mullen, I imagine. And after that he tried tying her to their bed, but this only had the same effect as locking her in the fucking basement. She just screamed. She just screamed. You lock her in the basement just to see what it would do, you know. Because again, this is DIY. This is DIY demonic possession, man. So again, it's ridiculous. So Ralph finally decided that he needed help with the evil spirits. So he called upon their local reverend, a 78-year-old woman named Leah Cluxton, who participated in the beginning of the exorcism via telephone. So she didn't actually come there.
How does that even work?
What?
Well, she gave Ralph training over the phone.
So Ralph did it, but she was telling him what to do.
Yeah, just in the beginning, though. Just in the beginning. Because then a whole other slew of characters come in. And then Cluxton does come in the end, but not as a hero. But yeah, so she gave this guy how to do an exorcism over the fucking phone. Because she said she was too old to do field work anymore.
Fuck.
I don't care, man. If you're a priest or a preacher, whatever, you fight the devil your entire life. Your field work never ends. So you're gonna see why she should have went to the fucking. Actually, no, because she's a villain. So, anyways. The devil-fighting duo came to the conclusion that Joan was possessed by no more but no less than 10 fucking demons.
10?
Yeah, 10. They didn't say how they came. Like they just. Yeah.
It's a 10?
Yeah, they just 10. Yeah, she had 10.
No explanation at all?
I couldn't find one.
Just 10?
Yeah, just 10. So, and that Ralph needed more manpower. So, with the help of his neighbors, John and Leanne Rickenbach, they set out to rid Joan of the vile entities within her.
So he's just bringing people into this.
You just bring it. More people come in. This is the most make 'em up bullshit in the entire
She's
fucking
gonna be in the
world.
middle of the fucking town square in the end. She's gonna be strapped down to everybody around her.
You think they're gonna fucking hang, draw, and quarter? Hey Tate, that's not how this ends, but it doesn't end well for her. I'll put it that way. So, using her own stockings, the group tied Joan to a chair and sat her in the corner of their living room, yelling made-up religious incantations at her from across the room. Because, like I said, she didn't give her much help over the phone. So like when they say repent or what, like in the movies, they're just trying that shit.
This reminds me of fucking Jonah Hill off the This Is the End.
Yes. Take picture this. Picture this. This is what this is. That's what this
They're
is.
just sitting around. The power of Christ compels you.
That's what this is. They have a cross made of spatulas. That's what this shit is.
Jonah's like, no, it doesn't.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. That's what this is. This woman's screaming the whole time.
No.
It's a good movie.
It's literally what this is.
We just watched that the other night.
We did. I didn't realize it. This is the exorcism scene from This Is the End. So when this was met with yelling and screaming, the group then cut her off from food and water for the duration in an attempt to try and starve out the demons, while also prying her eyes open so wide that God could better confront them.
Oh, Jesus! So he just did this?
Yeah, I didn't say. I don't. They probably didn't tape her eyes open, but it just said pried her eyes open. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this one thing. You don't have to answer this. This is the one thing I'm going to say. If you could confront him, why don't you just do it? If God could confront them, why doesn't he just do it? That's all I'm going to say.
Answer, Keith. Yes.
No, I didn't ask anyone. That's just a statement. I'm just making a statement. It gets much worse though, gentlemen.
He's coming back one day.
I'll believe when I see it. So it gets much worse though, guys. So the group decided that they needed even more manpower. So they called upon a 28-year-old congregation member named David Klinger to help with the escalating exorcism. They just keep bringing in people, even though she's nothing's like she's not like it's not like she's actually. It's not like how it actually is an exorcism movie, like where she's breaking the chair and like they can't hold her down. She's tied to a chair with stockings, and they just keep having to call in people because they're going like, we can't handle her. She's too much. And she's just screaming in the corner in a chair. So they bring in 20-year-old David Klinger. So after talking with Ralph and learning that the group's religious chants and threats were to no avail, David tried a more physical approach. So after tying Joan down with even more stockings, he repeatedly slapped Joan hard across the face and even backhanding her at many times in an attempt to beat out the demons. So first it starved them out, and now they're trying to beat them out of her. Yeah, I don't understand. And they're trying everything. And Ralph at this point said that he didn't view Joan as his wife anymore. He was like, she's become too possessed. He told the media, he was like, she become more evil than woman at that point. And I'm going like, your wife is just sick, Ralph. So now we get to my favorite character. So after 3 days of religious torture, the group had exorcised 8 of the 10 demons from Joan. So Ralph came to the conclusion that the remaining 2 were strong male demons, and that they were too powerful for the group to handle. And that that another member was needed. So enter Matthew Newski.
It's like a job. 8 to 4:30. Well, we got 8 down. 2 more tomorrow, boys. See you at 8 in the morning.
And how do they even tell if they even left?
I don't know.
They don't even know the fuckers were in there in the first place.
No, they made up. I don't know how they. I would like to know what fucking like religious demon math Leah Cluxton used to be like this. Okay, there's 10. She has 10 inside of her.
Over the phone.
Over the phone. Over the phone.
It's like they had fucking FaceTime. Just 10.
Wait, honestly, I wonder something. Do you think like the sheep shearer and the bulldog and the pig and like what was the other one? The prostitute. Do you think those were all demons? Like,
I mean, I assume so.
Because I don't know like how they would. I really am trying to figure out how they got the number 10 here, and how they figured out that they got rid of 8, but there were 2 left.
Are any of them still alive?
I imagine Newski is. He was only 23, so
Let's find him and ask him.
And he was in charge of this exorcism.
Let's find him and ask him.
He was an assistant gardener at a golf course. So Newski was recommended to Ralph by Newski's mother, who told Ralph that Matthew had the righteous ability to banish demons, even though Matt had never done it or even attempted to banish demons. So after talking with the group, Newski attempted yet another route that no one had tried yet. So he's about to do his own little spin, because if you notice they keep, every time like they bring in a new person, they go up and talk to Ralph first and ask what they've tried, and Ralph's like, well, we've done this, and then the next person's like, okay, so I'll try this then. So Klinger tried beating her, and that didn't work. Yeah. So Newski's like, well, like, what do you guys do? He's like, well, Klinger just fucking bitch slapped my wife across the face about 18 times. He's like, she hasn't eaten in 2 days, and it's just, and then he's like going like this. Okay, I know what to do. So this is what Newski did. So fearing the final boss demons, that have possession over. So fearing the final boss demons had possession over all of Joan's possessions. So he thinks the demons have how to leak their evil energy through the entire house. But it's just Joan stuff. So he feared that it possessed all of her shit. So Newski and the other group members, including Ralph, went about destroying every single one of Joan's possessions that she owned. Yeah, it's like she had a greenhouse outside. They fucking they destroyed it with sledgehammers. They burned her clothes. They smashed her jewelry.
What the fuck?
She had a record player. And they chopped it up and set it on fire. They literally.
They should just burn the whole fucking house down.
Oh no, Keith, don't worry. They take care of the house here in a second. They don't burn it. But Newski's got a plan for that too.
Jesus.
Yep. So after none of this worked, Newski concluded that things had actually gotten worse. There was now a third demon involved.
So one got added randomly.
So with hopes of keeping out any new spirits, because that's apparently a problem now. Apparently, all they've done is actually just they got rid of 8, but then attracted a third one back. So in hopes of keeping out any new evil spirits, Matt Newski wrapped the entire Vollmer home with 7 layers of plastic wrap, completely ignoring that if you make it so no new demons can come in, then how are the ones that are still in the house going to get out? That was his idea. He was like, if we wrap the house, they won't be able to get inside. But you're still in there with 3 of them. And if no new ones can get in, then how are the ones inside going to fucking get out of the house?
What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense, but then again, none of this fucking does. You know?
Yeah, that's saying none of that.
Yeah, no, none of it. So after none of this worked, though, Newski went back to the old faithful method of the group and just began to beat Joan. He punched her in the head several times and then threw her face first into a wall. And then he instructed the group to tie her up and take her to the bedroom. So after tying her down to the bed, the group all sat on Joan's body, 2 per side. They started at her stomach, and they began to make their way slowly up to her neck in a final attempt to squeeze the demons out of her.
Setting on her?
Like a tube of toothpaste. They're starting at her stomach, and they're just moving their way up.
Push it up through her body.
They're trying to squeeze them out of her. That's what they're trying to do.
It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah. I even have the. It's funny you say that because I even had in parentheses. This is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Yeah. So, but sadly, Joan couldn't take it, and after 4 days of no sleep, food, water, and constant torment, died of a heart attack at 4 p.m. on January 30th after her thyroid cartilage was crushed.
I feel bad for this woman.
Yeah, literally. What the hell?
Yeah, they fucking crushed her thyroid like cartilage in her neck when they made their way up there, and it gave her a fucking heart attack. The group cheered at the sight of blood and froth from her mouth, though. As to them, it was sign of the demons exiting her body. So like they said when she finally just was and just died like that, like blood and froth came up, and they were all just like this. We did it! We did it!
Fucking killed her.
But I had that right here too, Tate. And I was like, but she's also dead now. but it's like, Ralph, but your wife is dead. Guys, don't worry. Don't worry. It doesn't get any better. It still gets worse.
Stop. Let me resume.
Okay, so the madness does not end there, though. So Newski told the group that this was all part of the plan.
The killer was part of the plan?
Keith. They've got her right where they want her now.
Dead.
So he told them this was all part of the plan, and that Joan would be brought back to life the following morning.
Jesus.
No, well, that obviously didn't fucking happen. A further day went by before Ralph finally sent out to bring in Leah Clugston from earlier. Remember the bitch that gave him teaching over the phone. So he wanted to bring her there so that she could lay hands on the rapidly decaying corpse in an attempt to bring Joan back to life.
I'm sure.
This woman's just as insane as the group. No, that's why I said she was a villain. She tried.
What kind of reverend things are going to bring people back to life?
78-year-old woman. No, she tried. She walked in there just going like this. She's going like this. She's perfect. We now we can save her. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's some of the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my entire life. She literally tried. So, and finally, when none of the praying and laying hands on the corpse worked, Clugston phoned a local minister in hopes of finding another way at reviving Joan. But thankfully, this man wasn't a brainless psychopath. Because Leah, like I said, Leah showed up and she was like going like this. All right, let's try. Like, she did. So, as the minister entered the home, he walked into something straight out of a nightmare. Like this sounds like a fucking fever dream. So as he walked in to find the group calmly eating lunch in the living room, while a decaying and fly-covered corpse sat in the middle of them. It's been 3 days, and it's 105 degrees.
Dude,
yeah, that's disgusting.
Can you only imagine what that looked and smelled like? And also, I want to say this real quick. If they think there's a chance of bringing her back to life, what's she gonna look like?
Yeah. She look like a fucking zombie.
Do they think that when she gets brought back to life, like it's all gonna, like she's gonna be like Wolverine when that goes off and her skin's just gonna grow back?
They say I look like the people at Pet Cemetery.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I read that and I was going like, what did they think like she was gonna look like? So, anyways, after using their phone to call the police, the minister, thank God, because he walked in, he was like, I'm not going to try, because initially they called him, they were going like, hey, we think we did this, this ceremony wrong. And then he came in there, and he wasn't, like I said, he wasn't a psychopath, he called the fucking police, he used their phone to call the fucking police. So after using their phone to call the police, they swiftly arrived and were completely appalled by the sight of everything, and the group The group was greatly confused as to why they were being arrested, but nonetheless went quietly. So 3 days later, 5 days in total, Ralph, because they had a funeral before court. So Ralph told the media, he made a big like show of it. Like he did a press conference and he was like, "You're all invited like to her funeral. Like because she's gonna come back to life at her funeral." And then that obviously didn't happen. And then he just cried the entire time. Because he literally thought that he was like, no, because he didn't want to like admit to himself that he literally killed his wife for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
So now we get to court. So the group of four, those being Newski, Ralph, and the Rickenbachs, were all charged with manslaughter. But at the end of the day, Leanne got the heaviest sentence of 4 months in jail, with David Klinger receiving 3 months, and Matthew Newski was found guilty of false imprisonment, but received a suspended sentence. And Ralph Vollmer, who single-handedly helped in the abuse and murder of his wife, received no jail time at all, because to them, it was a righteous cause. The superintendent of the police basically said, like, yeah, they are all incredibly fucking stupid people. But when it comes down to it, they believed that they were helping. Like they believed they were helping her. Like they thought, they're like, this is real, she's possessed. Which, I don't agree with that. They should be in prison.
I'll say, why is everyone else in jail and that dude not?
Because I think they want to be like, well, this man obviously just killed his fucking wife, and she probably wasn't possessed. I don't know like how we're gonna tell him that. I don't know. Oh guys, no. Ralph's fine. So shortly after the trial, Ralph actually got remarried and moved to Queensland with his new wife and lived his like the rest of his years in peace, openly content with what he had done, as he believed his wife was possessed by evil incarnate.
Jesus.
That's the end.
Wow.
What'd you guys think?
I don't even know.
Ralph is not
They're just stupid.
Some of the dumbest shit I have ever heard in my life. Because their logic isn't there. At no point, I don't know like exactly what Clugston told him over the phone on how to do an exorcism. Like I don't know if he was just like, "Oh, we ain't got no holy water," and then she was like, "Oh, that's fine. Just slap her across the face a bunch." How else would he have? You see what I'm saying here? Like there wasn't enough information on this, so I don't know. But I'm just trying to figure out where he thought like those and why he believed that a 23-year-old could banish demons just because his mom was like, "Oh no, my son's gifted." You can look at a picture of Newski up too. He looks a lot different than I thought he would. He looks like he's like 40 at 23. But no, yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. It's a sad deal, and I hate it for this poor fucking woman.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. That's why like group thought is dangerous as hell. Group thought is dangerous as fucking hell. Because when it comes down to it, these people did this because they thought they were fighting the devil.
Stupid as hell.
They were dumb. Yeah, they thought they were fighting an actual demon.
10.
Yeah, 10.
11.
Yeah, 11. Yeah, it turned into 11 demons. Because Newski apparently isn't that good at banishing them. He's good at bringing them. But no, yeah. So that's, like I said, it was a shorty episode for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Same to the audience. And yeah, that's all I got. Follow the socials, the Skeleton Key Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, Keith. And shirts will be here in like a week and a fucking half.
And fuck Amber Heard.
Go Johnny!
Victory is ours.
Johnny!
Victory
is ours, dude. Fucking W. It's fucking awesome. I'm so happy. I saw it when I got home just now. I was like, well, Ronnie posted about it on his story.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I saw it. And which also a new Falling Into Verse song, Voices in My Head. Give it a listen. But no, yeah, go Johnny. Yeah. Okay, so guys, we're done here. I'll see y'all again next week. I've got a first for an episode next week. I think you guys are going to really dig. And yeah, everyone, have a good week. Stay safe. And yeah, chill out.
Carry on.
Yep, carry on. All right. See you, everyone.
See you guys.